Hi everyone, this is Alan Gorky from Penn State. I just want to give you all an update about what we've been doing with the framework for innovation that initially started within the CIC group, but then Christopher Brooks, myself, and Josh Morrill have been developing it a little bit further. A couple of weeks ago, we presented this at an ELI fall focus session on innovation and presented some of our ideas. So this is just a quick synopsis of that. First, I started off talking about Doceri, which is a process where you use an iPad, you can draw directly on it, and you can present that in front of a class. It can control a podium machine or a laptop. And I use the framework as kind of a qualitative analysis and a formative assessment for project ideas that are proposed to us. So I ask questions such as, under the utility category, what problem is this proposal trying to solve, and what problems are created by the process. Under the category of creativity, I ask questions like, how is this a new approach? Like, how is this an innovative approach? And how does this tap into or create future trends? So if this is lining up with an increased move towards mobility, towards faculty ownership of iPads, towards faculty wanting to walk around the classroom and engage with their class, I think that lines up very well. Under the category of resistance, who could be upset by this, like local IT directors, people who manage networks, and then how can we reduce that resistance or the backlash while this project is going. So those are just 3 of the 6 categories that we use in the innovation metrics framework, but it's kind of a positive and a negative side for each of those elements. As far as Christopher Brooks goes, he's turned this into a rubric for evaluating faculty proposals. So here are the 6 categories again, and then he has a scale that goes from -3 to +3, with the ideal being in the middle. So if a faculty proposal doesn't solve a problem, then it's a -3. If it creates more problems than it solves, then it's a +3. The goal is that you want to score very close to 0. So whenever he totals these up, this is part of his testing. Here are some scenarios. You can see that in the first 2 columns you have scores that are different from 0, which is kind of what you want. In the 3rd column, you have a score that's 0. The problem is that in the 4th column, which is goes between hot and cold, between very undesirable effects, you also end up with a score of 0. So that creates a problem where you get a 0 result with unideal or with non-ideal situations. So he was looking for a way to solve that, which he's been able to do by squaring each of the categories. As a result, this is the theoretical model that you would expect to see, as the score of 0 is theoretically 100% accept rate, and then as you go up towards a 9, you would approach a 0% accept rate. So he's been doing some testing on this, doing factor analysis, a lot of statistical techniques, and has found some very significant results with these categories if they're squared. So the theoretical is the blue line, and then you see the red line of more the actual probability based on real faculty proposals. So overall, it looks like the framework is useful for this kind of purpose. Finally, Josh is using it as a typology to analyze where your current innovation projects are. So in this case, he's created a 2-axis system. Something that is low risk and has low utility is in the minor modifications quadrant. Then there's also the micro deluxe, where it only has a limited utility to only a certain number of courses, but a high risk area. Then there's also a low risk but high utility, so it could be used on many courses across campus. And then high risk, high utility. So large audiences, innovative ideas, and his idea is that you want to have a balanced portfolio in some way. That doesn't mean equal participation in each of these quadrants, but you do want some representation. So if you find out that you're doing entirely value building and you want to try something that's big bang, or you're doing big bang and people are getting really burnt out, or if it's entirely minor mods and you find that the group isn't really being perceived as being innovative enough or really need to stretch themselves, then you might want to do a big bang project. He's also kind of tracked how some of these projects have migrated between sections over time. So that's pretty interesting. So effectively, that's what we had presented to the group. I think we're planning on doing a workshop. We proposed a workshop for ELI to be covering this topic and talking to people about how they can use what we've done and how they can modify it for their own institutions. Thanks.